Good morning. This is Mr. Fleming, and I'm at St. Paul Diocesan School, and this video will be for my 8th grade class and my 7th grade class. The class is actually mixed. We went fully remote on January 3rd, and we're supposed to be back January 11th. As of Friday at 6 p.m., I was informed that we are now fully remote to the 25th. We should expect this, and there'll be a lot of flexibility we have to show this year for a lot of reasons. And whatever our feelings about it, I think it's important for us to soldier through and do the best we can, and let's be successful. I understand you guys are working at home. Please check these videos out. Be sincere with your sketchbook, and we're going to learn something on the way. The project, we talked about this form here, and we talked about creating movement using line and shape. And over here we call the elements of art, and we have line, color, value, texture, and shape. Value is just dark to light. We went through the color wheel pretty well. What we're going to try to do is create a principle, and the principles of art are not limited to this, but space, contrast, rhythm, emphasis, balance, variety, movement. And that's what I wanted to focus on, is to create movement. Whenever we do a project, at any point I should be able to ask, what is the element of art that we're using, and what is the principle of art that we want to try to create? Now, I understand we want to have a fun class, an enrichment class, and drawing is supposed to be an enjoyable aspect of our curriculum, but it is part of the curriculum, and there'll always be some rigor involved in any class. So please take the class seriously, and that you are spending some time in your sketchbook getting the projects done. And you were supposed to look at my video from last time in which we created this thumbnail. And you can see here there's not much to the thumbnail. It's just a quick sketch. I'm using 4 quadrants. And over here I'm using just one field to create the image, and I want movement. Here the person is jumping through the frame, and here's just the sun with rays falling in front of it. And then I did a rough. Now keep in mind, I did several roughs, several ideas before I chose one. But eventually I did choose on one. I worked out color studies for my cartoon. I didn't just go into a final draft and color it the way I wanted to improvisationally, but rather I planned it, I chose my color, and I also worked out my design very specifically. Now this is a rough also, and you can see here I have the 4 quadrants, but I've mapped out the quadrants so I know exactly where the center is. So that becomes my focal point. The figure moves closer to the foreground, still in my focal point. The figure is still coming closer to the foreground, but not quite there, but the focal point is still in the center of mass. And then I have the figure all worked out. The clutching hands, the foot placed on the frame. Please notice the words. I have all the spacing for the words mapped out. The spacing between the letters and the spacing between the lines. I very much recommend you print the words out, but if you're going to map them out, it's got to be legible. Okay, that's got to be a very important aspect of it. So here my design is all worked out as far as line. I've got some color studies to go with, and from there I'm going to get my final draft done. So in my sketchbook, I have a final draft of my movement, and there it is, okay? I am working clearly with the secondary colors, green, purple, and orange. I have a high contrast between the black field and the color field. I do have the focal point on my figure, and then I have my figure all worked out, bursting through the frame. That was one solution to the problem of how we can use line and shape to create movement. Now the other one we used was the sun, and over here I have the rough, and I worked out the rough rather largely with colors that you might be able to see. In fact, I might just move this a little bit closer so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, there we go. I'm in the frame still. So over here I have my color studies. I have a rough sketch all worked out about the size I want. And again, I'm working big so you guys can see me. But you can see here I'm using purple, reds, and yellows. Here I'm using yellow field with a green and blue top. Here's a blue field with orange and yellow. Over here I have a gradation of orange to yellow, and then I have a green sun in the middle. I kind of like that one, but I chose not. This is the one I'm going to work with, in which I have the face and the high orange and red. I did work out more white here, but as the project went on, I decided to get a little bigger. And you can see over here, I've got most of my painting done. I've got a nice clear field here. I'm going to put some blue on the white to make the stars. But I was hoping you guys would be here because you can see that I really did pile on the paint. So now the painting has a texture. The sun face comes off of the picture plane because the paint is mounted on top of the surface. The purple is really very flat, so the sun really does come off it. So I am using shape and I am using line to create that movement. Everything is still going that way. But I'm also using texture. And I'm using texture to lift the face off of the surface. It's not truly a relief, but it does have a certain tactile quality that makes it much more visually interesting. So I'm not quite done with this one, but it is really Sunday. It's not really January 11th, so I have till tomorrow to finish it. And you should also. Given that we're fully remote, I'm going to put these videos up for you guys, and Wednesday we'll do a Zoom class. And then I would like you to have your sketchbooks and your drawings to show me, and we'll go from there. So keep in mind you have Christmas drawings that should have been done, foreground, midground, background, and then the first assignment was this one. This should be done this week, and I'll start a new project tomorrow or this week, but we got to get used to going fully remote, and I know everybody was taken by surprise, but again, we have to be resilient. We have to be enthusiastic, and look, the days are getting longer, the sun's out more and more, spring is coming, life is good. So this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Check out the my YouTube channel, and please subscribe. I need 100 to get a personal URL, and please check out that LMS. That's the way I'll be communicating these lesson plans and these videos. I'll do a Google Doc. You need to sign into the Google Doc. That's my attendance. And that's all I have for right now. So in your sketchbook, I'm expecting everything to be finished up this week. And check out the LMS videos, and we'll go from there. Thank you for listening. Love you. Bye-bye.